Stella Opoku-Owusu. I am the Deputy Director at AFFORD. AFFORD is the African Foundation for Development. Here at GFMD, I was very honoured to be nominated as co-chair for Civil Society Days. The last few days, so we've had the Global Forum on Migration and Development, and we've had our Civil Society Days, which is one of three mechanisms at the GFMD. So we spoke on labour rights, on access to services, on criminalisation of migrants and those who assist them. We had lots of fruitful discussions. When we started at the opening on Tuesday, one of the statements that I made was let's remember to put the migrants at the heart of our discussions, and let's also remember to bring our hearts to the discussions. And I think that's what people did. Today we had the Common Space, which is an opportunity for civil society to engage with governments and also to share with them our reflections. And so one of the messages that we shared with governments was about upholding shared values, human values, and within that, basically putting an end to criminalizing those who support or who try to save lives, and criminalizing migrants as well. And often we find media and others who talk about, for example, illegal migrants. It's a little bit like saying you are an illegal human being. It doesn't make sense. And that sort of language perpetuates the idea that you can have policies, or that you should have policies that enforce criminalization, basically. The theme this year on collective action and partnerships is so key, because it's not to say that the elements that we have in the Global Compact are entirely new. Civil society and other stakeholders, we've been working on a lot of these issues for years, and we want to do this collaboratively. So the fact that you had member states who signed up to it is really, really positive. Throughout the Civil Society Days, we did ask people to focus on action, focus on good practices, and what we can take from that. And they absolutely did. There were actually two examples in the discussions on labour migration, which I found really interesting and really did stand out. We found out that as a result of the Global Compact on Migration, civil society organizations, trade unions across Sri Lanka, Nepal, India, all came together to start to really engage around the issues that migrant workers face, in particular ensuring that they have contracts, ensuring that they have access to social, like welfare. Not only did it enable them to really start to see eye to eye, which is how they put it, to really start to engage each other, it also enabled them to begin to engage government as well. And there was a similar example in Brazil. You kind of want that sort of collaboration, and we want that from states as well. The challenge is that often they're all quite small scale. So I think it's the fact that when we're talking to those who can support, for example, governments and others, they are looking for scale, but they're looking for scale where if you're turning over, let's say, under €1 million, you're not going to be turning over 10 million tomorrow. This is an area that I think, in terms of partnerships, I think we can push a lot more with different stakeholders. We can look at resources for specific work or for scaling up initiatives, and perhaps come up with some creative ways in terms of how we can do this. And going forward, I think it's an opportunity for us to really say, we are here, we are partners in this process,